My grandfather always thought that song was the Rolling Stones. He was completely confused. I was like, you're thinking of When the Whip Comes Down. That song is Where There's a Whip, There's a Way by the mighty Faster Pussycat. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls. The heavy metal wizard and the Great Wall of Metal is back after a 2-week hiatus to get some personal things together. But lo and behold, we're going to count down the 15 most kick-ass hair metal band albums of all time. And we start with number 15, Faster Pussycats, from the album Wake Me When It's Over, second album from the great glam metal band from LA. So what are we going to do tonight exactly? Because hair metal, hair band rock, is quite a wide term, and you could, you can go back and look up a million bands. But what I've done specifically for tonight's countdown is I set 3 basic qualifications. Number 1, the band would have needed to use plenty of eyeliner, makeup, and or hairspray. Number 2, the band must have begun their recording career sometime during the 1980s. And number 3, the band had to have their career severely wounded, if not completely canceled, by grunge in the early 90s. Right? Faster Pussycat, of course, makes all 3 of those grades. You know, I was lucky enough, I am the heavy metal wizard, by the way, make no mistake about it. I was lucky enough to have a great radio station, both in the high school I went to in New Jersey and the university, college I went to in New Jersey. So I've got a very first-hand experience with how this music was popularized in the mid-late 80s and then came crashing down, unfairly, of course. And we'll go into that later. But, I went through my collection of thousands of quote-unquote hair metal albums. You know, the Britney Foxes, the Tufts and Poisons and Slaughters. I found albums from Dogs D'Amour, Europe, South Gang, Rocks Gang, Firehouse, Vixen, Winger, Danger, Danger, Warrant, Steelheart, Pretty Boy Floyd, so on and so forth. And I got to be honest, they do sound ridiculous even today. Some of those bands wrote some ballads that became big hits. We're not doing that tonight. We're going with the kick-ass rock stuff as we start with Where There's a Whip, There's a Way from Faster Pussycat at number 15 as we put Tammy Down and all those guys up on the wall of metal tonight. Let's go on to number 14. Oh, it's Tesla from their second album, The Great Radio Controversy. It's called Hang Tough on the Wizard's Great Wall of hair metal.
And it's harder than it seems.
From Sacramento, California, Tesla, from their second album, The Great Radio Controversy, a mighty hair metal album, went on to, I believe, double platinum status, as did Mechanical Resonance from 86 and Psychotic Supper, which came after The Great Radio Controversy in 1991. They also released Bust a Nut in 1994, and all four of those albums did relatively well. Big-time chart successes, a lot of great heavy riffs, and, of course, a couple ballads, of course, from Tesla. And then they released the 5-man acoustical jam, which was the first real unplugged album that I remember anyway. Of course, Jeff Keith, Tommy Scio, Frank Hannon, Brian Wheat, and Troy Laketta make up the classic era of Tesla. And they did it the right way, and that's why they're number 14 on the Wizards Great Wall of Metal tonight. We count down the top 15 ass-kicking hair metal albums of all time. Number 15 was Faster Pussycat from an album. The track was called Where There's a Whip, There's a Way, not to be confused with When the Whip Comes Down by the Rolling Stones, or Where There's a Whip, There's a Way from the Lord of the Rings. I digress, right? That album, though, Wake Me When It's Over, has so many great tunes. Slip of the Tongue, Poison Ivy, House of Pain, Little Doll, right? Ain't No Way Around It. That's a good one. I love that album. I have a feeling I'm going to listen to that one when it's all said and done tonight. But like I said, counting down the top 15 kick-ass hair metal albums of all time, and we move on to number 13, one of our few international acts as we cross the Pacific here, for one of the heaviest hair metal bands of all time. And these guys were around from the early 80s, but the first couple of albums from this band were only released in Japan. And then they released a self-titled album in 1987, and then a follow-up called Fire Fire in 1989. Of course, we're talking about Easy-O. Classic album here. You know, Flashback, Heart Attack, House of a Thousand Pleasures, Destroyer, I Walk Alone. I mean, come on. It's produced by Gene Simmons, and it's heavy duty. We're going to get to a track from that right now as we hit number 13. It's Easy-O on the Wizards Great Wall of Metal.
The wind chills me to the bone.
Wizards. Great Wall of Metal.
So good, why am I still fucking broke?
Yeah, business is good. The Four Horsemen on a tremendously great night here in SoCal. It's just gorgeous out. Temperature in the 60s. Pleasant. You can see the moon and all the stars out tonight. What a gorgeous night as we celebrate some hair metal on the Wizards' Great Wall of Metal tonight. The Four Horsemen from the album called Nobody Said It Was Easy from back in 1991. With the Four Horsemen come in at number 12 here on the top 15 most ass-kicking hair metal albums of all time. Of course, that band had their share of heartbreak, and they didn't last very long. After forming in 1988, the band put out an EP in 89 called The Welfare Boogie. Put out that album in 1991. Such great tracks like Wanted Man, Tired Wings, Feel Like 75 Again. Tracks like that. Good stuff, right? But then all hell broke loose as even before the grunge era hit, Frank Starr, the singer, was arrested 2 times on drug charges, went to jail for a year. The drummer, Kenny Montgomery, he overdosed in 1994. The band never really recovered. Frank Starr was in a car accident, and he passed away in the mid-90s as well. And they replaced him with Ronnie Young from Little Caesar, but the band didn't last long. The thing that makes all these bands kind of tied together is that they all were affected greatly in the early, mid-90s by grunge. All these bands that we got to thus far, Four Horsemen, Easy-O, Tesla, Faster Pussycat, they all seem to just die after like 1994. And for various reasons, but, you know, grunge really hit the hair metal trend really hard. It became uncool. Whether your records sounded great or whether they really did sound dated, it didn't seem to matter. Four Horsemen was a great blues rock band. They should not have been affected, nor should have Tesla for that matter, but they were, and that's what we're going through tonight. We're going to celebrate the great albums that these bands released in the mid-late 80s, early 90s, as we move on to another band that, after 1991, just fell apart. Talking about an English band. Fastway, one of my all-time favorites. The band was formed, of course, by Dave King, who was unknown at the time, and Fast Eddie Clarke from Motorhead, Pete Way from UFO, and Jerry Shirley from Humble Pie. And they released a self-titled album in 83, All Fired Up in 84, great record there. Waiting for the Roar in 85, Trick or Treat soundtrack album in 86, changed singers in 88, released On Target, released Bad Girls in 1991, and then ba-doom, they disappeared with the onset of grunge. Of course, Dave King, of course, went on to form Flogging Molly and has had great success by changing it up and doing a little Irish folk punk rock. But we're going to get to something from the Fastway original first album in 1983 because it's so damn great. This song was actually released twice. It was actually released twice on this album from 83 and again on the Trick or Treat album in 1986. The track is called Heft. You got it on the Wizards' Great Wall of Metal.
Mama,
Dave King on the vocals, Bass Eddie Clark on guitar, Jerry Shirley on drums. And as I'm looking at the picture I put up, that's the second wave of Fastway. As Fastway comes in at number 11 on our top 15 most ass-kicking heavy metal hair band albums of all time. And by that time in the band, Pete Way from UFO was out, and Richard McCracken was in. And there's a picture of him up on the wall there. He, of course, was famous for playing in Taste and playing with Rory Gallagher, of course, as I give you some intel. Little old school history for you here on the Wizard's Great Wall of Metal. And what would a countdown be about hair metal without the mighty Motley Crue as we enter the top 10 here? Because they were everywhere the entire decade of the 80s, from their first release, of course, back in 81, Too Fast for Love, all the way out to the end of the 80s with Dr. Feelgood. They bookended the decade with two really amazing albums. But no band went through, more turmoil as the 80s ended and the 90s began than Motley Crue, right? They pretty much, they bailed, or shall I say Vince Neil bailed. Somebody bailed. The band bailed on him, or he bailed on the band. Either way, they signed on with John Corabi for 1994's self-titled album, and it was a grand failure. Not even the diehard Motley Crue fans dug that record. Not that it's a bad record, it's just not Motley Crue, is what everybody said. And when you came off albums like Too Fast for Love, Shout at the Devil, Girls, 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 and Dr. Feelgood, and even Theater of Pain, you can't put out a record like that and expect to get by. It just doesn't work. It didn't work in 1994 and probably would not work today. In the 90s, of course, Vince left, he came back. Tommy left, he came back. Now Mick Mars is gone, and we got John 5. But I got to say, when it's all said and done, they did write some incredibly memorable heavy metal songs, including this one that we're going to get to right now as we enter the top 10 here on the Wizard's Great Wall of Metal. Top 15 most ass-kicking heavy metal hair band albums of all time. Of course, Shout at the Devil. And this one is Bastard. Crank it up. Wizard's Great Wall of Metal.
Feel my heart drop.
you were around back in 1988 and you didn't dig LA Guns, I don't know where you were. Wizards' Great Wall of Metal coming in at number 8, the debut LA Guns CD, just titled LA Guns. Of course, they followed it up with something even greater, Cocked and Loaded in 1989, Rip and Tear, The Ballad of Jane, went platinum for those guys. LA Guns, yet another band that released 3 awesome records in the late 80s, early 90s. They followed up Cocked and Loaded with Hollywood Vampires in 1991. All 3 of those albums, very good. And then grunge hits. And, wow. Tracy Guns and Stephen Riley and Phil Lewis and Kelly Nichols and Mick Cripps, they kind of disappeared. They put out a record called Vicious Circle in 1994, but it went nowhere, unfortunately, because the world of music had changed, obviously. And, being in a band like that just wasn't cool anymore, even though it really was cool. I mean, all these bands, that we're talking about now, they were all cool. We're going back, of course, all the way to the early 80s. And Kicks was before that, by the way, at number 9. Blow My Fuse was the album. And Cold Blood was the track, of course. And that album has so many great cuts on it. Red Light, Green Light, TNT, Don't Close Your Eyes. And Kicks was a band that, at that point, in 1989 or 88, when they released that album, they were veterans almost 10 years into their career. Their self-titled first albums from 81, Cool Kids in 83, the spectacular Midnight Dynamite in 1985, of course, Blow My Fuse in 88, and Hot Wire in 91, all very successful albums. And by 95, Show Business, the band was off the map. And that's pretty much the theme here tonight. These are some great rock and roll bands and great metal bands that, in my opinion, didn't really deserve the counterpunch that grunge gave them, because these were bands that were really not fully known for their power ballads and light, shall I say, light image, girly image, right? I did look up a whole bunch of bands as I was researching this little project, and I found some of the bands that I noted that were slightly edgier back in the day. They really weren't, though. Love Hate, Bang Tango, Junkyard, the Bullet Boys, Extreme, and Cinderella, and Vane. Remember those guys? Rhino Bucket, Lizzie Borden, Dirty Looks. All really good bands back in the day, but, a lot of them, I guess, deserve the uncredit that they got in the 90s. But the bands we're playing tonight, Faster Pussycat, Tesla, and Easy-O, Fastway, the Four Horsemen, and even Motley Crue, for that matter, of course, unfairly, were really driven into the ground by the likes of Nirvana and Alice in Chains and Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, and Stone Temple Pilots and all that. But, hey, it's just the way it goes, right? I don't know. I was around back in the day doing radio. I did high school radio, college radio, and then I went to work in the music industry, and I was firsthand in all this stuff. That's why it brings back so many memories for me as we do the Wizards' Great Wall of Metal tonight on the Gotcha Metal channel. We'll move on in our countdown as we have entered the top 10. Number 10 was Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil. Number 9, Kicks, Blow My Fuse. And number 8, LA Guns, self-titled album from 1988, like I said. We're going to move on to one now that, if any band in the late 80s and early 90s got gypped, I feel this was probably the number one band that got really gypped, not only by the changing musical tide, but by their label, and just, I guess, I don't know, they never made it at all. And they put out 3 phenomenal records, self-titled album in 1988, Vices in 1990, and this album we're going to get to in late 1992 called Magic and Madness. We'll come back and talk about it, but this track it just should have went. It should have went big, and it didn't. They call them biker metal. I just call them Circus of Power. This track's called Black Roses on the Wizards' Great Wall of Metal. Wizard's Great Wall of Metal. I was in 8th grade when that came out back in 1984. And this girl in my class in 8th grade, she loved Dokken. I mean, she loved Don Dokken. And at that point, they had only had 2 albums out. Maybe they had just put out Under Lock and Key at that point. But this girl, she used to go around singing Dokken, and she would sing Tooth Hangnail. I was like, I don't think the dude's talking about a hangnail. I think it's tooth and nail. And she's like, oh, yeah, you're right. And that's how I got in. That's Dokken, of course, coming in at number 6 on our top 15 most ass-kicking heavy metal hair band albums with the title track from Tooth and Nail. Don Dokken and Company's second album, of course, the classic lineup, which, really did well during the early, mid, and late 80s. They had a really good run. Don Dokken and George Lynch, Jeff Pilson and Mick Brown. Debut album in 81, re-released in 83, Breaking the Chains. It's a good one. Tooth and Nail, epic. Under Lock and Key, really good. Back for the Attack, epic. And, of course, in 1988, probably the greatest live album from a hair metal band of all time, Beast from the East, was released in 1988. It's a good one. Check out that live album if you're into live music. Dokken right here on the Wizard's Great Wall of Metal. Before that, Circus of Power, a band out of New York City that really got screwed, and I mean got screwed. This band put out 3 records. The self-titled one in 88, Vices in 1990, which is phenomenal. And then they followed it up 3 years later with Magic and Madness, which is even better than either of the first 2. And all I got to say is somebody at Columbia screwed up because those records are really good. And that track that we played, Black Roses, should have been a hit. That's all I have to say. Alex Mitchell and Ryan and Ricky Mailer, Gary Sunshine, Zowie on the drums. Oh, it was a good time. I was living in Jersey at the time, got to see Circus of Power many times in the early 90s. And they were a rambunctious bunch of dudes. Stripped down, raw, just down-home biker metal. You gotta love it. The best band, in my opinion, of that era from New York City was Circus of Power. All right, we're counting them down tonight. Hair metal, the greatest kick-ass albums of all time of the genre. And it's time to enter the top 5. And we'll start with this one. face it, when it comes to hair metal, or sleaze metal as they call it, glam metal, everything's divided into two time frames. Pre-GNR and post-GNR. They were that big in 1987. They exploded on the scene. I was a senior in high school, and my, oh my, oh my, were they the shit. Appetite for Destruction, My Michelle, coming in at number 4 on the top 15 most ass-kicking heavy metal hair band albums of all time. Of course, Axl, Izzy / Duff, and Steven Adler, classic era right there. It was tough going after Izzy left the band. But, Guns N' Roses is one of the least affected bands by the grunge movement, I guess simply because they really didn't release any material other than the covers album, the Spaghetti Incident. The Use Your Illusion albums came out really before grunge took off. So Appetite for Destruction, however, continues to sell to this day. I think it's at 19 million copies in the States alone. And before that, number 5, Def Leppard, of course, from High and Dry, Lady Strange. And Def Leppard, if you go back to pre-GNR hair band days, they were the kings of all hair bands and all hair metal. There was no international band that sold as many tickets and sold as many albums as Def Leppard. That album, High and Dry, of course, was their second, was released in 1981, and kind of really broke them through, bringing on a heartbreak. Of course, the title track, Lady Strange, Let It Go, had big-time hits on it. Pyromania, 2 years later, 10 times platinum. Hysteria, 1987, 20 times platinum. Adrenalize, 1992, triple platinum. But grunge came, and Def Leppard released Slang, and it barely went gold, and they fell off the roof as well. So Def Leppard, and there's no one out there, in my opinion, who has been more outspoken about his bitterness of what grunge did to this era of music than Joe Elliott from Def Leppard. I've heard many an interview. He still seems upset all these years later, even though, let's face it, Def Leppard could pack a stadium to this day, but they have not released what many would consider, a relevant album probably since Adrenalize in 1992. But back in the day, boy, Def Leppard was a once-in-a-generation band. They sold millions and millions of albums, and that's why High and Dry, which is their breakthrough, comes in at number 5 on our countdown of the top 15 most ass-kicking, freaking heavy metal hair band albums tonight on the Wizard's Great Wall of Metal. We did, of course, before the GNR and Def Leppard, Dokken, Circus of Power, LA Guns, Kix, Motley Crue, the Four Horsemen, Fastway, Easy-O, Tesla, and Faster Pussycat. Now, we got no trickery. You can't add bands like Van Halen or Kiss into this countdown because those bands existed before any of these hair bands really took off. They were classic 70s bands. And even a band like Twisted Sister, I can't count them because they broke up in 1988. They didn't even last until the grunge movement. And that's one of our prerequisites, right? I didn't add any progressive metal. I'm not going into Queensryche or Halloween or Savatage. And, of course, we're not doing any retro hair rock bands like Steel Panther, Mainskin, Buck Cherry, stuff like that. Going to keep this really real to what was happening in the late 80s and early 90s. Hairspray and makeup type stuff. And I'm really not going into the shock rock thing, except for this band that's at number 3, because they really define LA hairspray heavy metal. I'm talking about Wasp. They come in at number 3 on our countdown tonight because they were just that great, and they were so huge in the mid-'80s. And we're going to throw Wasp on our countdown tonight at number 3. And they put out a record in 1989 that's the best of the lot, called The Headless Children. We're going to play that right now. This one's called The Neutron Bomber. if you were a metalhead like I was in middle school in the mid-'80s, you smoked cigarettes outside your middle school, you were usually listening to Wasp. One of those early records like Last Command or Inside the Electric Circus. That one that we just got to, of course, is 1989's Headless Children, the Neutron Bomber, coming in at number 3 on our countdown tonight because Wasp was that large back in the day. The head of the class when it came to shock rock with bands like Kiss and Twisted Sister and Motley Crue and all that. Blackie Lawless, Chris Holmes, Johnny Rod, and I believe in the picture you got a little Frankie Banali on drums. He had replaced Stephen Riley by that point. And you had Ken Hensley, of course, on keyboards on that album, formerly of Uriah Heep. That's a beautiful thing. I am the Heavy Metal Wizard as we count down the top 15 most ass-kicking heavy metal hairband albums of all time. And we're hitting the big time now. These are some bands that really were quite amazing back in the day and really got truly screwed in the 90s in one shape or another. The number 2 band is probably my favorite of the night. This band I had the pleasure of working with back in the early 90s. Very lucky. Love these guys. Of course, I'm talking about Jakey Lee, Ray Gillen, Greg Chason, and Eric Singer. Then to be taken over the drum spot by Jeff Martin when Eric Singer left. Talking about Badlands. They put out 2 records, and 2 records only that people know about. The self-titled record in 1989 and Voodoo Highway in 1991, both of which are just freaking amazing. And here's a band, they really weren't known for their image. They were known for their music, yet they went down the tubes in the early 90s as well. A lot of inner fighting, but for the most part, it was the change of scenery on the musical landscape that did in Badlands. But we're going to do them tonight at number 2 on the top 15 most ass-kicking heavy metal hair band albums. The self-titled Badlands album from 1989. And this one is grooving. It's called Hard Driver on the Wizard's Great Wall of Metal. Ray Gillen. And boy, there's an album that just doesn't have one lame track, right? High Wire, Dreams in the Dark, Winter's Call, The Devil's Stomp, Rumblin' Train, Seasons, Streets Cry Freedom, and that one, of course, Hard Driver, coming in at number 2 on our countdown tonight is the debut album from Badlands back in 1989. And boy, what a shame how that band's career turned out, because they were one hell of a hard rock band and probably the best in the business from late 88 to like late 1991. They really, really showed them all up when it came to musicianship anyway. Ray Gillen, of course, coming from the Black Sabbath fold. Jake E. Lee, of course, did a long stint with Ozzy, although I'm sure Ozzy tends to forget about it. Badlands really, 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 really did the trick for me when I was into music, this kind of music back then, and I still love it to this day. I could put on that album or Voodoo Highway at any given time and really enjoy myself. So they come in at number 2. And before we get to number 1, I got to do a little honorable mention to this band that I did not put on the countdown because I couldn't figure out which one of their albums to put on the countdown. I'm talking about Rat. I guess I should have done Out of the Cellar. And I'll give Rat an honorable mention here because they really did, throughout the 80s, dominate the airwaves with their many hit songs, right? Stephen Pearcy and Robin Crosby and Warren DeMartini. They really exemplified the LA Strip mentality. Lots of makeup, lots of hairspray. That's what we're celebrating tonight. Because those were damn good times when things were open really late and you were allowed to go to a show at midnight. It didn't cause any problems with anybody. All right, I'm the Heavy Metal Wizard, counting down the top 15 most ass-kicking hair metal albums. We couldn't just do 10. I couldn't do it. I couldn't pare them down. And I couldn't do 20 because they tell me anything over 90 minutes is a bad live stream. Trying to keep it to 90 minutes. And that's just what we're going to do, right? All right, number 1. Here we go. Here's a band from the late 80s and early 90s. Kicked so much ass. And they're still in the news today. Talking about Skid Row, who have lost their maybe 5th singer just the other day. Eric Gronwall left the band and will be replaced, at least temporarily, by Lizzie Hale. There's only one real singer we know for Skid Row, and I hate to say it because I was really friendly with Dave Sabo back in the day, and he's such a great dude. But there's only one singer for Skid Row, and that's Sebastian Bach. And they put out 3 albums, the first 3 Skid Row albums, that really made history because the first one came out of nowhere and had 2 huge top 40 singles with 18 in Life and I Remember You. The second album came out in 1991 and was the first heavy metal album to debut at number 1 on the Billboard Top 40, talking about Slave to the Grind, which, as you know and I know, is effing phenomenal. And then the band went away for 2 years to write their follow-up, and when they delivered it, the landscape had changed. It was 1994, and Skid Row delivers us an album called Subhuman Race that is so mind-blowingly, meltdownedly good that it got lost. Because grunge was at the forefront, and Skid Row was no longer cool. But boy, they gave us one of the greatest heavy metal albums of all time, in my opinion. And that's why Skid Row, Subhuman Race, comes in at number 1 on the top 15 most ass-kicking heavy metal hair band albums of all time. I dare you to throw that album on and not tell me it is not the number 1 greatest hair band album of all time. Track for track, the full, almost hour-long album is brilliant. Whether it's Eileen, Into Another, the title track, of course, My Enemy, Iron Will. This one we're going to get to now is my personal favorite. We're going to end the night. I sign off with this one. The Wizard's Great Wall of hair metal tonight. Skid Row with Medicine Jar. Wizard's Great Wall of Metal.